you're going to need a 22-inch size canvas block, mesh dome wig cap from Q-Fit, that's the brand I use, or Dream World. And here I'm just showing you all the cap. And I also have this frontal lace top wig cap that I'm going to use for my frontal wig that I'm making for my customer. There's the frontal, the deep wave frontal, and I was just showing you all that that's the cap that I'm going to use for that, and that's the cap that I'll be using, the mesh cap I'll be using for the closure. Next, I'm just going to take the frontal lace top cap and put it on the dome head like so, and just make sure that it's where it needs to be. I will usually pin down the frontal and then draw the lines, but I don't have to because you already see where the frontal goes on the cap, so I skipped that step. Next, I'm going to take my metallic Sharpie that I got from Amazon specifically this time. I didn't get them from Walmart. I bought them in like 12 count from Amazon for like $12. So yeah, and then you're just going to take your lines and draw them straight across the back. Straight across. Not in a curve, not in a U shape, not in a C shape. Straight across. You'll see. Just watch. And your lines do not have to be 100% perfect. You may see me making 2 to 3 lines at a time, and it's just to make sure that everything is even and flowing together correctly, because even me, as many times as I've done this, I can still mess up. So just take your time. It does not have to be 100% perfect. It's just to show you where the tracks might go or should go. And I recommend doing guidelines even if you aren't using a sewing machine. It's just something good to do if you're a beginner, because it shows you where you're going to place your tracks. Now I'm just drawing the last few lines, and then you'll see me draw some lines across the top to fill it in. That's just to make sure everything is nice, neat, flat, and full. And then I'll count the lines, and there should be 10 lines. As well, you'll see that when I'm doing the closure as well. Just watch. Excuse my baby, by the way. He's all in my background breathing and making noises. Now you have your lines for your frontal unit. Now we're about to do the same for the closure unit. And I'm just going to show you all that the line dead smack in the middle of the canvas should match up with the V and the back of the cap. This Q-Fit cap, these caps are actually kind of big, so I didn't worry too much about it because I'm used to it, but you would have to take the space out. But my customer, she has a lot of hair, so I wasn't too much worried about the fitting of this wig for her. Now I'm just pinning down the closure, and I use the lines on the canvas to make sure, I kind of use it as like a guide to make sure I have everything even, and you know, the closure isn't on one side more than the other. Now I'm just pinning it down in the back like so, and I'm making sure that it's flat on both sides, because it needs to be completely flat on all sides before sewing. Therefore you don't have any bulking or anything like that. See, completely flat. Now I usually sew down my closure first, but for this video I wanted to show you all how I do the lines. But I do recommend sewing down the closure first before making the lines, because the closure always is going to stretch once you sew it down. So with that being said, you'll see the last line, like going all the way around the cap or whatever, is kind of close to where the closure is. So I definitely recommend sewing down the closure first and then making your lines. Therefore, any space that's being taken once the closure is sewn down, it doesn't affect the lines on the cap. about to draw the last line shortly, and then you'll see what I mean by how close the lines are. And when using the sewing machine, you're going to use the zigzag stitch, so you really want to keep your lines kind of spaced apart and not too close. And I always put a track around the closure, so that line there is going to be a problem, but I know how to fix it, so I'm not too worried. Now we're going to do a count check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And there we go. Now we're sewing the closure on. There's no specific way of me sewing. I literally just probably go like 3 different directions and then start just sewing the rest. And then you'll see what I do when I get to like the corner of the closure. So there's no specific way though. I don't knot or anything. I just do a regular, I guess, weave stitch. In, out. So yeah. Stitching here, I do still sew kind of close together because I need the closures to stay secure as I'm sewing the bundles onto the cap. So I do still stitch really close, even though I'm still going to sew the closure and the last track on with the machine. Now we're coming to the corner of the closure, and you'll see that I go in and I wrap the thread around twice. Sometimes it'll be 3 times, sometimes it'll be 4 times, but most times it's like 2 or 3 times. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm going under, bringing the needle through, and then I'll wrap it around twice. 1, 2. And then I put my finger right on the needle and the thread to make sure that the thread doesn't knot up as I'm pulling it through. There you go. You can see it. Yep, just like that. Perfect. And then now back to sewing. And then you'll see I repeat the exact same step on the other corner of the closure. And also I repeat the same step in the 3-way direction sewing, I guess you could say, on the other end, well, on the other side of the end of the closure. Now I'm just repeating the same stuff, but here I had got a knot in there pulling too fast. So now you'll just see what I do to fix it. It was just a simple knot, so all I had to do is just pull the thread a little bit hard and get the knot out, and I was good. But if your thread not up and you have to cut it, I really recommend do not cutting it. Just take the end of your needle and trying to get it out that way. It's gonna take some time. It's kind of like when headphones are tangled up. Now we're coming to the end of the closure, and you'll see what I mean by the three-way direction sewing. It's really nothing specific. I'm just making sure I'm locking it in and making sure everything is all flat and locked in, so therefore it can stay until I can secure it with the machine and the last track. And there I wrapped it around the needle about 4 times, I think. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's exactly how I do it. Thank y'all for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and let me know what y'all would like to see next.